How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another solo vid. It's been a little while, people. I know. I keep on saying these are going to become more regular, and I'm here to say they are going to become more regular, but it just needs to be right. I do miss you guys. I do miss these solo one-on-ones. I see over 100 people here waiting already. And when you consider it's been a few months since I did one of these solo ones, and this channel is pretty much another big six channel at this moment in time, people, just wait on it. There's going to be more content coming on this channel, more solo vids, more shows. Me and Curtis need to do something, so look out for that coming real soon. But big up everyone still showing love and still showing support and still wanting these solo vids. I see some love in the comments already. I see a super chat in the comments before we even went live. So love for the love, people. You know what it is already. Apologies for the settings right now. I'm currently moving. Let's say I'm moving. So, you know, you might get a couple of these videos on the big six or solo where it's just a plain background, but sets are being made. I've still got that other set and I still will be on the other set, but I need to kind of, you know, do things a bit different for other shows. That is pretty much now the big six set. When I'm on that set, it's the big six. Or when I do a little solo AFTV with Robbie or Cecil or James or whatever it is. But yeah, wait on it, people. There's still more to come from this channel. Hit the like button if you haven't already as well. And make sure you hit the like button. On the big six, I asked for 1,000 likes before the show ends. If we can get it today, I know it's going to be tough considering it's the first solo vid in a while and these need to be consistent to really pick up the traction and views and whatnot. But it is what it is. I see Curtis doing daily live vids as well. And instead of me doing them, I just find myself watching Curtis's and commenting in the chat. So big up Curtis. He's been consistent for over a year now. So big up him over there and him doing his thing. But yeah, let's get into it. I mean, this might possibly be the first solo video I've done on this channel or since I've been online, since you guys have known me, guys and girls have known me, supported me, that it's a positive video without anything to say contrary to positivity. And it's about time. I know it's only 7 games, but it's about time that, you know, this club have been a bit more consistent, started the season well, properly, proactively, you know, bringing in a good number of players into the first 11 that, you know, gives us confidence heading into that Palace game and so on. I know we lost the United game and we're here to talk about the first 7 fixtures, the first part of the season. Mikel Arteta, as you can see from the thumbnail, Granit Xhaka, Gabriel Jesus, William Saliba. We can touch in on Ben White as well. I think he deserves a mention. We can touch in on Zinchenko. As well as others. Martinelli, I guess, deserves a mention. Saka might be under the radar at the moment, but he's still producing in terms of assists. He's only second to De Bruyne off the top of my head. So there's quite a bit of good to talk about right now. And long may it continue, because as much as the haters and the ops would like you or people to think that content creators or me or whoever it is are only here for negativity, that's not the case. That is definitely not the case for me anyway. I'm here to give my opinions on Arsenal. It happens that since I've been giving my opinion on Arsenal on the World Wide Web, on YouTube, that we haven't been performing to what I expect or what I saw growing up. So I can only be real with myself and be real with the supporters and the people out there that view this channel. Now, very different feeling, and we're going to get into it, people. Like I said, hit the like button. There's 400 people here. Let's see what the chat's saying early. I've scrolled up. Look at Omar here. Man like Turkish finally came out of hiding. Nothing to hide about, my guy. You know, even the reason I was late for this stream was last minute. I set everything up 2 minutes to 1. My son needs his nappy changed, so I had to go do that real quick, and here I am. Big up Jamal. Here's the super chat. He says, finally a solo show where it's just vibes and a good conversation. I might not be able to get you live, my guy. I wanted to show my love as always anyways. Listen, my guy, love for the love, Jamal. It's not just a saying. I know it's become a saying now and it's become somewhat of a tagline for me, but I mean it. You know, it's always love for the love. It's mad to me that I'm on YouTube, full stop. It's mad to me that I'm on 70K now. It's mad to me that, you know, I'm presenting a few shows on AFTV and my face is just out there. It's all mad to me. So when I say love for the love, it's not a tagline. It's not generic. It's from the heart. Seriously. I can't. A few years ago, I'd never have imagined being here with 70K subscribers. I know a lot of people a couple of years ago used to say, a lot of the supporters, oh, you'll get to 100K Turkish, man. You'll do it. Trust me, we believe in you. You know, keep it real. And listen, I'm closing in on it. I still don't believe I'll touch 100K, but I'm closing in on it. So we'll see. Jamal, love for the love, my guy, as always. Guna David says, big up Turkish and the chat. Come on, H7 in the building, member of the channel. Listen, I've got a few members on the channel as well. And I've got to separate an apology for you guys because I brought memberships in maybe about 6 months ago now, and I haven't given you guys anything. And hands up, that's on me. And listen, there is things coming. As much as I've just touched on more content coming on the channel, there's going to be pieces of content for the members as well. So look out for that. If you've been a member, you know, since the beginning, if you've been a member the last few months, last month, last couple of weeks, then big up you guys. I just want to apologize because there hasn't been anything for you guys. So love for the support and love for the love, because I know a lot of you guys have, you know, been members from the beginning and haven't wavered, haven't left it because of a lack of content. You're still there waiting. So big up you guys. H7, and there's a few others as well. I know Cyrus is a member as well. I've got a handful of members here, but I appreciate it the same way. Like I appreciate everyone in the chat and appreciate everyone's thoughts, comments, not only super chats, and so on. Judy in the building, the Ottoman onslaught, the Turkish titan, the Arsenal alchemist, turning everything to gold, never gets old, staying bold, too hot to get cold. What up, Turkish? Judy, now that's a tagline I can get behind. You know, that sounds like certain expressions would say. The Ottoman onslaught, the Turkish titan, the Arsenal alchemist, turning everything to gold, never gets old, staying bold, too hot to get cold. Aye, that's straight out of X's playbook. I can't even lie. Wordplay like that. Big up you, Judy. Big up X as well. Hey, Guna Lee in the building. Love my bro. That Going Greek hit a spot. Listen, me and Lee hit up Going Greek yesterday. And they sorted us out nicely, obviously local to the studio. So big up Guna Lee as well. If you haven't seen it already, go check out Supporters Club. That came out yesterday. Me, Guna Lee, Sharoy, and the legend Chris Hudson. A nice conversation. Pretty much around the same things we're going to talk about today. This is just more intimate, let's say, one-on-one, personal. This is my channel. This is, you know, my people on the channel. So, you know, I think it's well overdue now. And it's not every day I come out for negativity. It's not every day I come out when shit hits the fan. I've just got to, you know, keep it real. And right now, rosy. It's only 7 games, but it's rosy. Yes, Turkish, says Andrew. Corey says, well, go on, come on, my guy. Mars says, big up Turkish, much love. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you guys as well. Guna Vettel, a lot of familiar faces. I see you lot supporting all the time, even on Big Six as well. High Tech J says, a special. Well, we're top of the league. I guess that is special. I know it's only 7 games, but yeah, we can talk about it. Big up man like Irish. Come on, Daniel. Big up my Irish people in the chat. A Turkish and Curtis collab needs to happen for the people. It's happening, people. It's, to be honest, we could have done it already, but we're looking to do it in person. Listen, Big Six is already StreamYard, and it's not ideal, but I guess when you think about the demographic where we're all from, one in Manchester, one in Dublin, a few of us scattered around London, different areas. It's very hard to do the Big Six in person, if not impossible. It's all on my own back. I haven't got a big budget. I haven't got a studio, and and we all haven't got the time to be making journeys twice a week, every week for the show. So all the new content coming, I'm looking to do it in person. I'm looking to do the show with Curtis in person. Obviously, there'll be times when we have to stream it, but you know, wait on it, people. I'm going to keep on saying wait on it. Big up Curtis. Big up Guna Lee in the chat as well. I see everyone. Turkish is happy, says Daniel. Positivity, says JR. Aris says, Turkish, a big fan of the Big Six and your channel. Love, my guy. Really appreciate that. The support. Scars, have you got Turkish in your display pic though, fam? My guy, hope you're good, man. I actually remember meeting you as well, man. I hope you and the family are all well. We've got another super chat here from Mark. Let me save that one. And one from Manraj as well. Let me save that one. Big up Turkish, says, oh, Wayne. Omar, solo stream, people. I can't believe my eyes. Omar, I'm here. Omar. I hope you're good. I see Omar, you changed as well over the last year or so, you know. You used to be very much like me. And recently I've been seeing your comments and whatnot, and there's a lot of belief. I'm seeing you say we're going to win the league. I ain't with you on that one, my guy, but the change, it's a welcome change, man. It's good to see you happy, man. I hope you as well and the family are all good. Thierry Henry says, gang, come on. Mars says, love the way we've been playing, even results aside. Big Turk, what you saying, bro? All good, man. All good. Cannot complain. Cannot complain. Life is good at this moment in time. Arsenal are good. Fingers crossed. Long may this continue, my guy. Long may this continue. I'm a Liverpool fan from Sydney, says Mohammed. Honestly, the big six got me through depression during a bad thing in life, but now things are really amazing. I can honestly say I love you and your work, Mohammed. Listen, that's touching, my guy. First and foremost, I'm happy to hear that you're back out of that. And listen, life is fucked. So it might not be the last time you feel that way. Listen, we've all felt ways in. Well, I say we've all. I can vouch that the ups and downs in life can really play with emotions. You've just got to stay strong, and when you're in that moment, understand you're in that moment, because if you don't know you're in that moment, there's no coming out of it. So I'm really glad that you've come out of it, and I'm really glad that Big Six has helped you, Mohammed. And a lot of people are like, I've said this before, and I'm just shocked at how many people come to me about what the Big Six has done for them. To me, it was just starting a show where, in my eyes, you lot saw the top six from a few years ago where it was studio based and there was the shirts all behind, and it was me and my friends. Obviously at that time I was just beginning, so I thought, let me get my brethren. I know a few Liverpool fans, Tottenham fans, Chelsea fans, United fans. I sourced a Man City fan. We started top six. It was slow, it was expensive, and then this come along and it was StreamYard, it was COVID, and it just banged. It's just been picking up ever since we've started this, which has only been coming up to 2 years in November. So, we've only had one full season and nearly 2 years in total. And look at how far we've come. And I can't lie, to hear how much it helps people going through dark times, bad times, tough times. I never expected that to be the case. And I can't lie, that's probably the best thing to come out of it. The love, hence love for the love, But Mohammed, stay strong, my guy. Keep your head up. As always, Philippe, I see you there. Let me save these super chats. It's been a while. I'm going to save the super chats as well. I'm going to go through them as well. But listen, like I said at the beginning, I miss you guys. So let me go through the chat and see what's going on. Big up from Baku Kardashim. Come on, my guy. I hope you're good. I hope you're good. I hope you wasn't there in Baku a few years back, but I hope you're good now. I hope you're good. Let me continue scrolling. Big up Turkish. Oh, wait, have I lost it? No, here we are. Turkish, speak on Partey, please. Another injury. I will talk on him. But I think the latest news was that it's a precaution and he'll be ready for the next one. Listen, he should never have been selected in the first place. I'll be honest. Even forget Arsenal for a sec, but even the Ghana national team, think how close we are to the World Cup. Think just a few weeks ago, Partey was out injured. It'd be silly to risk him in friendlies, considering how soon the World Cup is and how fragile he's been over the last couple of years. Listen, Arsenal pay him, so Arsenal will risk him. But for Ghana to call him up and then potentially risk him in the next game as well, I think it's quite silly. But let's just see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out. Obviously, when you hear that he's pulled out during the warm-up and you're thinking, this guy, like, we need to sort it out. We need to buy someone else. But obviously, you hear it's a precaution and you've just got to wait and see. We've just got to wait and see. But we'll talk about it shortly. Let me still big up the people, man. Let me still show some love to the people before we really get into it. Right, the super chats are coming in. Gareth, I see you there. And Julie, that was some wrestling type of tagline. Some 90s Roddy Piper Macho Man stuff. I can't lie. That might be in my bio soon enough. If you see that. I see, is that Lee Gunner in the building as well? Come on. Hope you're good, my guy. Not sure if it's the real one because it's on this stream, man. I can't tell, but I'm sure it is. Big up Turkish. Yes, love. Well gone for the prediction table. Hey, listen, didn't you not see me last year? Obviously, as the host of the show, I've got to give these men a chance. Last year, I was bottom for like 19, 20 game weeks. And then in the end, I finished joint top and I gave, we put it all on the line for the Champions League final. Liverpool fucked it up for man. And here we are. I came second. But don't forget, man, people easily forget. You gotta give the people a chance, and by the people I mean Matisse, Tobes, Hugh. Actually, look at me talking. Have you seen what Matisse has done in that league? Forget Matisse, even Hugh's gone on a mad one. 4 correct scores. Matisse has got 7. Last year, I think the total was 15, or the highest was 15 at the end of the year. So a couple of them man are well on course to beat that. But listen, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. Again, Partey injured. I saw it. Another member, big up Tezzy. If I'm honest, I prefer the StreamYard setup than in person as a viewer. Can see everyone equally. Fair enough. Fair enough. I get that. You know, when I done a couple of lives on DR on Robbie's channel, a lot of people loved it, but a lot of people also said, you know, the current format, the way it is probably their preference. That doesn't mean that we're not going to bring in-person content, because I think we found a good balance where the show is the show. The show is StreamYard twice a week, every week, preview, review, all of that, prediction table, cool. I think that's set in stone. That is it now. But if you look at the Big Six channel and the top 6 series and the foot golf series, and we're linking up tomorrow as well. Hugh's coming over from Ireland, Saeed down from Manchester, the man then from London, all linking up. And we're gonna finish the top 6 strikers series. Might as well just round that off, even though people had problems with the format of how we done it and whatever, what we done it. And it's, you know, if you start something, you need to finish it. So we're gonna finish it, and we might touch on it again in a year or so, and look at how you lot would like us to do the top 5, because I know, yeah, some of them top 5s really didn't fucking make sense, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We move. We got the balance there. Look out for Big Six Extra. Look out for the waiting room. All of these are on the official Big Six channel. Big Six Extra will be essentially another Big Six once a week, but with a few familiar faces, a few of the options we have in depth for the official show. But I think, you know, they're such worthy substitutes that they need their own show. We need our own show in ourselves. So big up Fuad, big up Cams, big up JR, Eunice, big up Daps, you know, Big Six Extra, and the waiting room as well. The waiting room, that's going to be a show for the, you know, the Palaces, the Leicesters, the Evertons, the Newcastles, the Wolves. I guess I still haven't decided the 5 clubs that are going to take part in the waiting room, but I'll decide shortly. And Big Six will be hosting that. 1 week me, then it'll be Grizz, then it'll be Saeed, then it'll be whoever. We'll be rotating every 6 weeks. So look out for everything coming, people. And that will all be StreamYard based as well, considering, again, it's hard to link up with 6 people. It's really hard to link up with 6 people. So yeah, let's do it. Mr. PKA, my guy, my G. Long time. Hope you're all good. I'm good, my guy. Likewise for you, man. Likewise for you. Knuckles in the building as well. I think our fan base going overboard. We're in a good position, but we haven't achieved anything yet. Arsenal are not back yet, but we're not back. 100% we're not back yet. We'll be foolish to think we're back. And I'll keep on reiterating. Listen, I think we'll make top 4 this season. Don't get me wrong, that can go horribly wrong. It's not tight at the moment, but it's hard to judge at the moment. I think it's easy to say City will kind of win it. But aside from City, the way Liverpool have been playing and everyone else in the Big Six, it's hard to really determine who's going to finish 2nd to 6th. Obviously, you've seen our predictions, and I've said Liverpool 2nd, and that's kind of a default considering how they've been over the last couple of years. But, you know, the start of the season has been interesting, to say the least. 800 people here. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Big up from Toronto. I see you, Elliot, there. Curtis says, what's the interview you've been most angry in? It's hard to say. I'll have to think about that one, my guy. Thoughts on Woodrick? Says AJ. He looks good. Don't know much about him, but he looks good. Yeah, why not? Why not? Listen, something I said this summer as well. I can want Tom, Dick, and Harry. You guys could want Harry, Dick, and Tom. As long as the club do what they're doing and it works, then I don't care about not getting the player I would have liked, or getting a player that I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about Martinelli. Here we are. We love Martinelli. So as long as they get it right and keep on getting it right, we can want who we want. But if they bring who they want in and it works, calm. If it works, it works. I don't care whether it's Gnabry lining up for us and it works, or whether it's Rafinha lining up for us and it works, or whether it's Saka lining up for us and it works. It needs to work. That is the bottom line of it. We might have to move on, and I rate Partey. A lot of people mentioning Partey in the chat. I can't even lie. A lot of people mentioning Partey in the chat. Or let me see what's going on. There's been a lot of comments. I can't even lie. I didn't expect this much people on my first solo live in a little while. But big up everyone showing love. And it's a Saturday as well. Let me catch up with the chat. All right, cool. I've caught up with the chat. Let me go into the super chats. I've done Jamal's one. Big up Jamal. Let's see what Mark's saying. I am loving the hate from everyone at the moment towards Arsenal. It means we are relevant again. They know we are scary once more. I miss this. Mark, I slightly agree with you, but I also think it's nothing to do with us being relevant again, because even when we've been through the mud and in the mud and you know just drowning in it, these men were all chatting shit. I just think it comes down to the way we are online as a fan base, the amount of clicks we give these lot, the amount of traction we give these lot. So win, lose or draw, successful or unsuccessful, these men are going to talk about us. But it's just good that now they're talking, we're not in the mud, we're not drowning, you know, we're in a good position, we have some hope, and now we can kind of fight back, clap back, we can kind of, you know, stick our chest out. But at the same time, this is what these men love: clicks, traction, and this is why they always have Arsenal, you know, in their mouths. That's the bottom line of it. Man Raj says, big up Turkish. I'm worried about North London derby as a Spurs fan. My guy. You know, as a Spurs fan, it is what it is, mate. You know, that's you over there as an Arsenal fan. I'm excited. I am nervous. I know we tend to do well against Tottenham at Emirates, but these next two fixtures are big. Because I don't. If the next two fixtures don't go well, and let's say we pick up 2 out of 6 points, I'd say 4 out of 6 is doing well in those two fixtures. But let's say they don't go well. It's not an indication of the season. But what it is like that Man United game. It's a bit deflating. You know, I think it's about time now we play the big boys, and Tottenham are not necessarily a big boy. They're a big 16, but I'm looking at Liverpool here, and take something from it. I said, was it on AFTV Live yesterday or was it on Supporters Club? I said from the 4 games against Liverpool and City this season, 5 to 7 points should be the bare minimum target. 5 to 7 points, whether that's 2 wins, 2 L's, whether that's 1 win, 2 draws out of the 4, whether that's 2 wins and a draw. I think 5 to 7 points would indicate some progress in terms of the big boys. And there's only 2 big boys in this league at the moment. That's Man City and Liverpool. And even Liverpool right now, there's a lot of question marks over them. So next 2 fixtures are massive. As much as I'm nervous, I'm excited. And yeah, bring it on. Philippe says, it feels like Arsenal need maybe 2 more solid windows. Fix the squad depth and sign a big player might be the final step for Arsenal. Big up Turkish. I tend to agree. I think 2 more solid windows. I might even, I think even 1 solid window and a proper window could do it, because I look at depth. You mentioned depth. Odegaard was injured the other week. Vieira steps in. Debut, gets a goal. Doesn't set the world alight, but does well. Zinchenko's injured. Tierney steps in. Tierney looked rusty in his first game back, but that was to be expected. But I think Tierney done well, and I think we've got the Tierney we know back. So in terms of depth in some positions, Arsenal have done very well in addressing it. But then it comes to the areas like Thomas Partey and seeing what happens when he's out, and Jesus, God forbid he gets an injury. I know he's on 4 yellow cards, and I hope he doesn't get that yellow against Tottenham, because if he does, then my expectations in that Liverpool game probably change. You know, Eddie's done well, and since he's been given a chance at the back end of last season, but I just think, very different entities to deal with for Liverpool, whether they're playing Jesus or playing against Eddie and Ketcher. So another solid window where we address midfield and maybe add another. Listen, I said Schick in the summer. I said Tony potentially. I'd still love a Tony in terms of an option there. But I agree with you. Another solid window at the very least, and I'd expect a challenge. I'm not expecting a title. I'd expect a challenge, and by a challenge, I mean come end of April, we're still there or thereabouts. It's been a long time since that's happened. So I guess that's the first step in terms of a season expectation after this one. But this one, expectation has to be Champions League football. Full stop. And if it doesn't happen, then shit has hit the fan then, because I'm not taking, like, it's all good and well trusting the process, but, no one's getting any younger here. There ain't an Arsenal fan in the world that's getting younger over these years. So from where I'm sitting, it's about time. JJ says, big up Turkish, the realist. Respect, my G. Come on, Ashman. Love for that. When is the next Big Six show? We want a daily one. Although I know it's just impossible. Mad love. Listen, everyone's on board at the Big Six. And I think one day, if we can secure the bag, let's say, that saying. If we can secure the bag, or we get a deal, or we get a sponsorship where it all makes sense to, put all the eggs in the big six basket. Listen, obviously, I made the big, not made, I thought of the big six. I implemented the people on the big six, and it's worked. But at the end of the day, it's not just me. And other people have lives, other people have families, other people have channels. So for the big six to be maybe not the show more daily, but the content more frequently, it have to make sense. And by make sense, it means financially, and that's the bottom line. Especially in England. Well, I say especially in England, all over the world, the cost of living and all of this shit is just going mad. So fingers crossed that happens as well. Listen, it's all in discussion. There's a lot of patience involved as well, but we'll move. We'll move. When is the next Big Six show? Next Thursday. So next Thursday, 9 p.m. people, is the next Big Six show. So look out for that. Big up Ash Gareth in the building. Love watching your facial expressions when the panel are discussing the Arsenal on the Big Six. I don't know how you stay above the sometimes delusional opinions. I stay above them because listen, with Matisse and Tobes, yeah, them man, I guess it's hard to hear Saeed say some things and not clap back. But essentially, I'm not here to just be arguing about nonsense on the internet, And sometimes people want me to argue about nonsense and say to me, like, even one of the comments on the Big Six the other day was, I love Turkish, and big up you. He said, I love Turkish, but I don't get why he's so submissive regarding Arsenal. I just think to myself, what is it? Because I don't argue back sometimes? Is it because I just let people talk? Is like, do people want me to argue every time? Like, that's just not me. I'm not going to argue about nonsense. If I hear a bad take, I might address it once. But if they double down on that bad take, I'm not going to keep on addressing it. That's on you. And, skullfuggery's there. So push comes to shove. We'll see and we'll find out. And you already look at the show length, an hour and 40 minutes. That show was meant to be an hour. Now it's an hour and 40 minutes. So it's all a juggling act. And with the show 2 times a week, every club gets their turn in terms of being the talking point. Arsenal last time got their turn, a good 50 minutes on Arsenal. And I think that was more than fair. Before that, people, didn't like the fact that Arsenal were not being spoken about as much. But you got to consider, from my perspective, I speak about Arsenal every single day. If you want my opinion on Arsenal, there's other shows and other content that you can see me on pretty much every single day. Now, you've got to ask yourself, talking about Arsenal over and over and over again, it's not, like, I say my piece, I keep it moving. I say my piece, I keep it moving. But it is what it is, the facial expressions. I remember, not necessarily about Arsenal, but I remember a couple of weeks ago when Tobe said, Tottenham are definitely winning something. Someone clipped that, I see it on Twitter, my face was just shocked. Because I just didn't expect them to come out with it. He said, yeah, Tottenham are winning something. I was like, what? My man, he put his neck on the line. All good, all good. Like I said, Skullfuggery is there waiting. But big up you guys, man. I'm glad you love the show. What other way to wake up on a Saturday morning? Big up KD. Big up KD. KD, I need to message you on Instagram. I don't remember if you've replied to me, but big up you for that offer as well. I won't announce it till we make it official, but big up you for that offer, KD. And big up you for taking the time out to come link, man, in Orlando as well, man. Really appreciate that. I've put that T-shirt you got for me with all my other Arsenal stuff. Like, I've got heaps of Arsenal stuff bagged up and whatnot. So I've put that away with that. So one day when my little man's old enough and I bring out all the, the old school merch and the, the Arsenal memorabilia, the T-shirt you got me, yeah, that's a story in itself. I'll tell a little man, listen, the first time I went to America, it was mad. The love was mad. After the Chelsea game, I must have took 500 pictures, and I think that's me being nice. It was so mad to me. Now I know what, like, when I used to go games with troops, now I know how he felt. In Orlando, it was mad. Love for the love. I need to come back ASAP. ASAP. I know there's a Guna Gra in February. I know there's other things. Listen, I've been talking to Curtis. We're looking to do something. Tim says, Turkish, you need to back the boys more on the big six. Get that chest out, bro, and be the voice for us Gooners. My bro, Tim, you've got to understand, yeah? Before I even entered the YouTube world, before I even entered, my chest was out for Arsenal so much. It's when Van Persie was sold to United. That's it. My chest went. I'll be real with you. My chest went. When we sold Van Persie to United, consider growing up, around United fans in school. One of my best friends, closest friends, is a United fan. The guy that I went to the wedding with on Tuesday last week in Devon, he's a United fan. Like, I've been sticking my chest out. I was sticking my chest out for this club a lot over the years, a lot, to the point where we sell Van Persie to United and then they win the league. I'm just like, fuck this. I'm done. I'm done. Am I a fool, essentially? That's what I felt like. Am I a fool? I can't keep on arguing and this club is not backing me. That's how I felt. So now, yes, it's different. It feels different, but it's only 7 games for me, Tim. And I know for you, you're a different type of fan, and there's other different type of fans out there that, you know, they would stick their chest out more over 7 games. But for me, even achieving top 4 at the end of this season, listen, don't get me wrong. If we get top 4, I'm smoking these, man, because even now, I think 3 or 4 of them didn't even predict Arsenal to finish top 4. So I'll smoke them, cool, if we make top 4. But if we make top 4, I'm not like that. That to me is not success. That to me is not a celebration. That to me is a next step. So it's only 7 games for me now, Tim. I understand 7 games for you and 7 games for others might be a different feeling, but for me, I've come a long way as an Arsenal fan. A long way. I've seen some highs and I've seen some lows. But I try and be fair. And that's why when you hear me talk about Granit Xhaka recently, Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, I've always been fair. It's just that since I've been doing YouTube, this is the first season. We've started the season well. We've started it with confidence because of what they've done in the summer proactively. So long may it continue. The season's long, Tim. So I don't want to stick my chest out or neck on the line too early. And that's not for me not to get clipped. That's not me worrying about Scarfaraghi. That's me from the heart. That's how I feel. Best believe it. When you start seeing me smoke, man, when you start seeing me chat shit, that's from the heart as well. It's not because you or anyone else wants me to do that. I can only be who I am. I've kept it real all this while, and I think it's done well for me. And I'm going to keep on keeping it real because there's not enough real on the internet. And I don't just mean in the football world. I mean in all types of content. Ulas, is this Ulas? Is there a problem with Arsenal training? Injury? Listen, Ulas, we've been saying this for years, even again, before I've come on YouTube. There's been question marks about Arsenal. Let me just say some of these super chats. Arsenal's medical team and whatnot. Arsenal have always gone through problems injury-wise and whatnot. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It just happens to be us a lot of the time. But look, Liverpool had it a couple of years ago. They was, dismantled in terms of injuries. I don't know. I don't know what to say because Partey had a clean bill of health before joining Arsenal. All of a sudden, he joins Arsenal and the guy's been injured more than he's been available. So, it is what it is. Let's see now. The Turkish and Curtis show would be fire. I know a few more super chats have come in. By the way, Stormzy, Mel made me. Let's talk. People like this show because we can sway off subject. Listen, let me talk to you. Yeah, don't get me wrong. That Stormzy, the track itself is very good, very good. Stormzy's shown something there that I haven't seen from him before in terms of the switching up of flows, keeping us engaged for 10 minutes. His lyrics are actually good as well, but it's very good. The video is amazing. The video is the mad thing. The people he got in the video, and not only the people he got, but the way he stitched it all together. It was, it was special. I can't lie to you, it was special. And the power and the message behind it, I can fuck with that. I think, when people make the public eye, I think a lot of their morals and things like that they care about, they brush to the side because it's not seen as beneficial to talk about or commercial, whatever, for sponsorships and whatnot. So big up Stormzy for that. Man like Jose Mourinho in the car. Listen, Jose, Jonathan Ross, Usain Bolt, Trevor Nelson, Ian Wright, Lil Sims, Heady One, JME, Julie. The list is easy. The list is mad. Like I said, the video is mad. But I'm still going to sit here and say, reply to Chip, my guy. Reply to Chip. And people might say to me, he doesn't need to and all that. Listen to that first 30 seconds back of the tune, yeah? The first 30 seconds, because when my brethren sent me the song, I listened to it and I paused it after 30 seconds and I went back to the WhatsApp group and I said, this is my problem with it. In the first 30 seconds, Little Sims is, King Capit. I said best UK artist. I can't lie. She's she's up there for sure. You listen to the first 30 seconds. He calls himself the GOAT. He calls himself the king. And then he asks, why does he need to reply to him? Obviously, him is Chip. But you've answered your own question. You call yourself the GOAT. You call yourself the king. And then you ask, why would you need to reply to Chip? Because you call yourself the king and the GOAT. That's why. And it's all good and well people saying he doesn't need to reply to him. Well, saying you don't need to reply to him is replying to him. Chip has been very open with saying that, listen, I don't take indirects. If I hear an indirect, I'm coming for you. So Stormzy knows what he's doing with the indirects as well. And that later on in the tune when he's like washed up Godfathers, you know, a wily dig and so on. If you don't care, then you wouldn't mention it at all. And I guess I'd probably respect it more if you didn't mention it at all. And I'd be like, fuck, you know, he really doesn't give a shit. He's really siding him off like Chip is just some any guy. But to reply and try and draw him out now, Chip will probably come back with something. He'll probably come back with something. But, you know, the internet and whatnot, I'm seeing people are saying Stormzy's won because of a video. I'm sorry, that doesn't run. Videos don't win a lyrical clash, especially in grime. Especially in grime. And my man saying he's the king of grime regarding Stormzy. So I think he needs to reply to Chip. You know, he needs to reply to Chip. But we'll see. We'll see if he does. All in all, I think it's a very good track. I think it's an amazing video, one of the best videos I've ever seen. The way it's stitched together is quality. But overall, being someone who's grown up with grime, listening to the sets, recording them on cassettes, I've got cassettes like galore. Roll Deep, Nasty, East Coast, Essentials. I've got so much grime cassettes from back in the day. Like I grew up on grime. So videos don't win shit for me. It's lyrics that win it. And Chip, in terms of war and grime, there ain't no touching him. Now, obviously, Stormzy's set a different kind of a challenge for Chip because Chip's now got everyone from Stormzy's side saying, oh, Chip can't stand up to this. You know, he can't stand up to this. Look at the video. He's going to have to get Wenger. He's going to have to get this guy. He's going to have to get Sir Alex Ferguson. The reality is, for Chip, that's a new challenge because lyrically, no one can touch Chip in a war. I'll be honest with you, no one. I think even Wiley would get it from Chip as well. And Wiley is the godfather. But I think this challenge is different because I expect Chip to come out with something. I know a couple things that might be going on in the diss track or the response, but essentially a lot of Stormzy fans will dismiss it because of Stormzy's video and say, oh, look, you know, you couldn't live up to it. Oh, forget the petrol station thing. All of a sudden now people are trying to mock the petrol station thing. The petrol station thing is a banger, you know, it's a banger. So overall, listen, I hope Chip responds and I hope Stormzy, he must be coming out with something soon, hence being back. Maybe Chip will say something that Stormzy won't take a liking to and will come out of his shell a little bit. But we'll see. I think it'd be great for the scene. Like I said, I grew up on grime. I grew up on clashing, and by clashing, I mean in person, in a box room, like 40 man, 2 mics, and everyone just, you know, clamoring for the mic. But listen, a lot of people talk now on grime, not knowing what grime really is. Yeah. And that's what frustrates me. That's why I don't really give my opinion on Twitter or on comments and whatnot, because then you'll get a bunch of clowns just responding like, oh, I grew up in this. Like, I'm giving my perspective. I grew up in this. You're just a new school guy that probably, you know, started listening to shit when Wearing My Rolex came out. Like, grime goes back in the day. Yeah. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. Very good track, amazing video. But my guy, Chip is waiting. Chip's definitely going to mention Maya again. I'll be real. Listen, if what I know is true, then what Chip will come back with will be fire. Will be fire. As it always is. As it always is. Where are we? Did I miss any? Chip is a beast. Look, I've just started talking about music and here we are. Ashley said, who's Chip? Is he a new signing? That was a subliminal reply, Turkish. I know it was a subliminal reply, but my thing is like, if you're leaving him hanging, then leave him hanging. By mentioning you're leaving him hanging, you're mentioning him. By not mentioning, it's a mad one. I think if you're going to take that stance on it, then just don't mention him altogether. When he mentioned him on the, the Dave track as well. I mean, even Dave, when them two did that track, yeah, and Stormzy had a couple of subliminals, and Chip replied back to Stormzy, and he sent for Dave as well. Dave's awfully quiet as well, Dave's awfully quiet as well, but it is what it is. He got astray because obviously he allowed another man to talk shit about Chip on his track. So Chip being Chip, he takes no prisoners in lyrical war. So yeah, I think these men need to, people asking me to stick my chest out in the Big Six. I think Stormzy and Dave need to stick their chest out in this lyrical war with Chip. So yeah. Remember Channel U, mad, crazy titch them times. What did he have? Sing along. He had a few tracks still, but sing along. I remember that track. It was just a weird one because you wouldn't expect Titch to be in that sort of wasn't the sing along one the puppet one? I think it was, but yeah. Stormzy has a mainstream audience, says Taylor. They don't know anything, but Chip started at 16. He had the underground, 100%. And don't get me wrong, against Wiley, I'm surprised Stormzy did kind of, he stood up tall, and Wiley is the godfather. But Chip, in terms of lyrical battle and his wordplay and what he takes, Chip's always ready. It's like he just has a catalog of people, individuals that if this person sends to me, he goes to the bookshelf and he looks for S and he pulls out Stormzy and he looks back and he says, well, 10 years ago he was this, 7 years ago this. Oh, Dave wants to get involved. Dave, well, in 2018 he said this about stop and searches. Let me use that. Chip's just ready. Chip's got a catalog ready for these, man. But yeah, let's hope it does pick up. And people might say, oh, it's not nice to want, clashes and what. Listen, this whole new generation is just soft. Allow me. Music, rap, hip hop, grime in particular, there's strong elements of battle rapping clashing. And if that goes, then it's essentially like what's happened to football in the 90s and 2000s with the tough tackling gone. You're just softening up the game. You're softening up the music. Yeah. For me, let's just see them at it. Ryan says, you can't touch Chip when it comes to lyrical sounds and wordplay. I love clashes. And PKS says, Stormzy just pulling on his popularity resources, getting all the stars in. But that don't cut it from where we come from. 100%. That's why when I see people online giving him all the credit and saying he won it now and asking Chip to bring on Sir Alex Ferguson and that, it's just like, all I want is Chip to just come and smoke him again. To be honest, that beat that Stormzy, while I was listening to that tune the first time, that beat, I was just thinking to myself, Chip would kill this beat. He would absolutely slaughter that beat. Go back and listen to it after the stream and tell me that Chip wouldn't slaughter that. Come on, best in the world. I see you, my bro. Come late because of work. No worries, my guy. Lord of the Mics. Come on, do I remember that? Come on, I don't know. But back in the day, I used to go dark and cold in the UK. The London man will know what I'm talking about, especially the ones that grew up in the 90s and 2000s. Used to go dark and cold in central London and pick up the DVDs like Risky Roads, Practice Hours, Lord of the Mics. They're definitely somewhere in boxes or something. I've got to pull them out, probably with the cassettes. But yeah, Lord of the Mics, classic, man. Big up Jammer for that one. 1,000 people here live. Hit the like button, people. I don't know how much likes we're on, but hit the like. Oh, we've already passed 500. Listen, that's massive. 50% of you have hit the like button. If we can get it to 1,000 before the stream ends, you know what it is already. Love for the love. If we can't, still love for the love. It is what it is. Let's go back to the super chats because as I've been talking and rambling on about music and Stormzy and Chip, which I like to do, not everyday football. I actually like to talk about other things. Hence why I want to bring UFC in, but music as well. I think we still need to do that Kanye versus Nas thing with Tobes because that was nonsense last year. That was absolute nonsense. Big up Max in the building. Big up Turkish. Much love from Australia, Sydney. My guy, love Max, man. Appreciate that as always, man. I see you supporting from here to the AFTV channel, supporting Sharoy as well. I've watched you and Sharoy for a while now, and I love both of you guys' content, views, and opinions. They are balanced and interesting. Good to be an Arsenal fan at this moment. 100%, my guy. 100%. It's always good to be an Arsenal fan because Arsenal are Arsenal, but at times it's a struggle. At times it's been a struggle over the last 10, 20 years on the Cronkies. But it is what it is. Max, love for the super chat, love for the kind words. And like I said, more content to come on this channel. Got something lined up with Curtis, Sharoy. You know what? I might even consider another type of show for my channel. I'll think about it. We'll see. Maybe give me some suggestions in the comments below. And the suggestions don't have to be, typical basic shows. I want the suggestions to be different. And by different, I mean, listen, there's a lot of Arsenal content creators about. I've already got a few shows on AFTV, Supporters Club, me and 3 other men. I've got Forever Arsenal, me and 3 other men. I've got Box to Box, me and an opposition. I've got Big Six, me and 5 other opposition. For me, they're different. So it has to be different for me to bring it on. Otherwise, I'm just there thinking, like, what's the point? What's the point? So big up Shuray, and I'll definitely think about other pieces of content for this channel. Philippe says, what are the plans for the World Cup, Turkish? The Euro shows were elite. The fantasy draw might be the all-time great Big Six episode. So funny. My guy, we're doing another draw for the World Cup. And along the same lines as what we did last time in terms of our weekly shows. But in terms of the Big Six official channel, considering we're all from, different parts of the world in terms of our heritage, I think, listen, Turkey ain't in it, Ireland ain't in it, Nigeria ain't in it, Pakistan ain't in it, Matisse, Irish as well. Yeah. Who else we got? Saeed, yeah, Somalia ain't in it. So none of our countries are actually in it. But I think in terms of maybe donning our country's kits and doing a football challenge around that time, November, December, maybe when the pitches are muddy, to add a bit of entertainment to it. I've got plans. I've got to finalize them. I've got a couple of months or 6 to 8 weeks to finalize them, but look out for that. But in terms of the draw and the regular shows, you're going to get exactly what you got for the Euros before the World Cup, but better, Philippe. But better, 100%. Jamal says, I managed to sneak in an earplug at work, so I'm with you anyways, my guy. Don't let them catch you though, man. How come I'm not able to become a member? I thought I was that already. What to do? To be honest, I'm sure you just scroll down and then click join. You can scroll down and click join, Jamal. Under the video, it says where it says analytics. No, actually, that's me because I'm fucking the owner of the channel. It should say join somewhere. I don't know. It should say join somewhere. But maybe, where are you from in terms of where are you based? Because sometimes people say to me, I can't send a super chat because where I'm based. So I don't know how YouTube works and what countries have access to what features, but maybe that's the case. I'm not too sure, Jamal, but there should be a join button somewhere. Ryan, again, hope you're good. Turkish, big up yourself. Glad these solo vids are here once every often, as I know you're a busy man. Watching this from work at Chelsea, you're a real guy. Ryan, as always, listen, I've said it about Max. I've said it about a few others, from AFTV to this channel to the Big Six, all of that. You're always showing love, Ryan, man. Link up soon anyway, man. I ain't seen you in a little while, so I'm sure we've got 3 home games next month. I'm sure I'll see you about soon enough anyway. My guy. Max, again, if you ever come to Australia, Sydney, I will look after you and the AFTV crew. Chip can't touch Yizzy. He is the king of grime. His music is fresh and a gooner. Oh, in case you missed, I sent a previous super chat. No, I think I got that one in, Max. And who's can't touch Yizzy? Who's that? An Australian guy, yeah? Because I don't know. Let me search Yizzy quickly. Because I know I said... Oh, I'm searching Yizzy and it says Prince of Grime here. Oh, I know Yizzy. Didn't he do an Arsenal tune? Didn't he have troops in the video or something? I'm sure he did. This guy gets views though. Well done to him. But yeah, Chip is the GOAT, my guy. But apparently, listen, I might be in Australia sooner than you think. If rumors are true about next summer and Arsenal's tour and whatnot, might be there sooner than you think, Max. So look out for that, because I'm hearing the next tour might be Australia for Arsenal in pre-season. So we'll see. King Capital says your top 5 active fighters. Ooh, question out of nowhere. Top 5 active fighters. I assume you mean UFC. Top 5. Okay, I'm in no particular order. And this is in terms of my favorites. Listen, Conor McGregor's my guy. he's fallen off, but he hasn't had a fight in a long time, and the way it's gone for him the last couple, I'm not going to include him. I'm gonna, like you said, active fighters. I'm gonna say he's not active. So Chimaev, 100%. He's definitely in there. Leon Edwards, and I'd say Leon even before the Usman fight. There's just something about him, and him being English as well. You know, I'm happy for the guy. So Leon Edwards, Chimaev. That Oliveira Makachev fight's going to be good. I really do like Oliveira, but Makachev might. Top five. It's a very difficult one, you know, to say. Chimaev, Leon Edwards. It's hard. It's hard because I'm just thinking about Chandler. You know, he in terms of watching a fighter, you know, Ngannou, Cyril Gane's good. Tai Tuivasa, you know, he's entertaining. Volkanovski. There's so many. You could probably do a top 3 for each division. You know, Nate Diaz is gone now, but Nate Diaz is a legend. Yeah, it's hard to say top 5. It's hard to. Izzy, how can I forget Izzy? The thing about Izzy for me, the reason I forgot him is because in the last 2-3 fights, that's not the Izzy I come to know. He's played it very safe. It's not really entertaining. Hence why it's kind of, you know, I've forgotten about him a little. But Adesanya, in terms of ability, skill set, and what he is, he's definitely up there. He's 100%. He's up there in the top 5. Yan. I see someone says Izzy and Volk, Kamzat, Adesanya, Leon is so good. Holloway, yeah, obviously Holloway's seen better days. I like Holloway. He's just a beast. He just, you know, he just wants to fight. I like that. Usman, I like Usman, but I don't put him on the Adesanyas and in terms of me being a fan, I don't put him on that sort of a level. With Usman, I actually like Usman a lot more listening to him after he lost the title to Edwards than I did before. Before, it just felt very fake in terms of how he was on, you know, the mic and whatnot. Now, it just seems like he'd even said it, a weight's been taken off his shoulders. So there must have been something there for him, you know, for a champion to lose a belt in the way he lost it, having been winning that fight comfortably. To come out and say weight's been lifted off his shoulders, he must have been feeling it, being champion and having all the attention and whatnot. So I like Usman, and I think he deserves a shot back at Edwards, and I think he'll probably beat Edwards. If he goes and wrestles for 5 rounds, he'll probably beat Edwards. But in my opinion, what I'd like to see from Usman is to go in there and knock him out, or try and knock him out, because I think it's too easy. It's too easy for quality wrestlers to win these big fights. Get him on the ground time. You know, if you get a few hits in there, cool. But essentially, you know, if you keep, because Usman was winning that fight against Edwards, but it was a shit fight. I'll be honest. In my opinion, it was a shit fight. I'd like to see them both standing. But I also admit that wrestling is probably the best martial art. If you're a 10 out of 10 wrestler and you fight a 10 out of 10 striker, then the 10 out of 10 wrestler will probably win 9 times out of 10. Wrestling is probably the most boring. I say that with a pinch of salt because a top quality wrestler, like, look at Chimaev against Holland. Holland was trying to swing Chimaev off of him, and Chimaev was just rolling over his back, rolling over the shoulder. Khabib does that too. There's an art to it as well. And when these wrestlers have that art to it, it is beautiful to watch. I wouldn't call that boring, but in general, you get a lot of wrestlers that, for example, Ngannou against Gane. Ngannou's not a wrestler, but he used a lot of takedowns in that fight. But he'd take him down and pretty much sit on top of him for the majority, and that's how he won the fight. That to me is boring. But if you're a Khabib or a Kamzat and, you know, the rest, even Oliveira on the ground, and not just on the ground, but the way he submits, you know, that's entertaining. So not all fighting on the ground is boring, but in general, sometimes people play it safe. And I think Ngannou played it safe against Gane. And I like Ngannou, but I think he played it safe. You know, you want to see Ngannou knocking man out. I just think he was a bit worried about Gane's technical ability. Spurs, Liverpool, Leeds, Southampton, Forest. How many points? Oh, that's our next 5. Spurs, Liverpool, Leeds. Okay. So we'll say bare minimum. I'm looking at 3 points Spurs, 1 point minimum Liverpool, 3 points Leeds, 3 points Southampton, 3 points Forest. So that would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 points out of 15. Now that should be the that should be the target. The minimum target should be that. What I'd accept out of the next 15 points, I'd accept 12. I'd accept 12. I know that includes a loss in there somewhere, but yeah, I'd accept 12. I'd accept 12. We'll see anyway. We'll see. Leon is so good technically. Usman's greater than Izzy. Yeah, he's definitely more rounded and he's more entertaining. Yeah, I get that. At this point, yeah. Adesanya, like I said, the last few fights, he just hasn't. He's not the same. He's not the same. Minimum is 12, says Dave. Dave, I need to call you back. The amount of missed calls I've missed from you in the last 2 weeks, my guy. Apologies. It's just been a mad time. I'll call you today. 100%, my guy. I hope you're good. John Jones, am I moving mad? But then he said active fighters. So John Jones ain't active. If we're talking about overall, then McGregor, John Jones, they're definitely in there. I like Khabib, but I wouldn't put him in my top 5, if I'm honest with you. I know he's a legend and unbeaten and one of the pound for pound greats, but for me, yeah, overall, he's not in my 5. But McGregor, John Jones would be, Anderson Silva would be. Yeah. Jose Aldo's up there. Listen, Aldo's a legend. He retired recently as well. It's a shame he never got his rematch against McGregor because I know he wanted that because that end to a 10-year reign. I think he was champion for 10 years. To be knocked out in 13 seconds is all mad. It's all mad. But yeah, let me go back to the chat. GSP, yeah, he's definitely in the top 5, 100%. 100%. So we're talking top 5 for me. No particular order. McGregor, John Jones, GSP, Anderson Silva. I wouldn't put Diaz in there. I see someone said Diaz. Yeah, that's the problem with John Jones, man. Someone said he's a smackhead. Yeah, that doesn't bode well. You know, when you're in that elite fighting business and you fail drugs test, it really doesn't bode well. In boxing as well. But in terms of his ability and his all-round game, John Jones is hardly anyone can touch him in the history of UFC. But I get you. That does kind of hold him back. The drugs does hold him back. So yeah. Matthew says, Turkish, bro, you have no idea how much I love you, my guy. Hope you're good. Martin says, big up Turkish. Are you still on the fake jersey thing? I haven't bought a fucking shirt for time. Like I said, my friend who used to work at Adidas now, she's left now, but she used to be, top in that company. She's still, well, she hasn't done in a little while. She up until last year, she was still sending me shirts and whatnot. And listen, it was free. It wasn't. And I still don't put them on. They're still in their wrapper. It still tags on it. They're going to my son. Unless all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, because we have started the season well. But if we continue this, then yeah, back out again. That black kit, I can't lie. I love that black kit. I love it. But here we are. I haven't got it. It's a shame. That is what it is. Where are we? Covington's a very good fighter, but he's a dickhead though. So yeah, that's the problem with Covington. Yeah, Aldo. It probably would. Because I see PK says Aldo, Jones, McGregor, GSP, Anderson Silva. The thing about Aldo is I rate Aldo highly. But does he stand with GS? But then McGregor's in there as well, and McGregor hasn't got the resume, let's say, that Aldo has, or the consistency. Aldo's a shout. I think that's a top 4, and then there's a shout for 5th, and Aldo has a big shout for that. Let me go back to thoughts on Anderson Silva versus Jake Paul. I hope Silva smashes him, but Jake Paul picks his fights well. And Deji Mayweather's a joke, I'll be honest. This is why I wanted McGregor to beat Mayweather. I don't like Mayweather. Like this, in terms of boxing, legend. One of the greatest of all time. Not the greatest, like he likes to tell people. One of the greatest. Legend. But in terms of a human being and a man, he's a dickhead as well. Like one thing put me off him when he was asked about giving back to Africa. I think this was maybe 5 years ago. He was asked about, like, do you ever give back to Africa? And he's like, what have they given me? And that to me just shows you what type of guy that is. Now you compare that type of guy to Muhammad Ali. I'm sorry, but Mayweather can't be going around saying he's the GOAT. He can't be going. Muhammad Ali is the GOAT of boxing, in the ring and out the ring. The way he conducted himself and so on made him that. But Mayweather fighting Deji, he's just, hey, I don't know, maybe there's been rumors over the years that Mayweather he makes a lot of money, but he wastes a lot of money. I just don't understand why he's fighting Deji. I just don't understand it. Like, he's probably better off. I don't know, actually. I don't know why he's fighting Deji. It's crazy to me, but it is what it is. Let him do what he wants to do, man. But he's a dickhead, though, man. Fuck Mayweather. I don't like him. Let me see where we are. People saying I missed super chats. Have I missed super chats? What, best in the world? Mayweather, best defensive boxer. Yeah, I'll agree with that. King Capital, best defensive. Oof. Okay, cool. I'll give him that. Best defensive boxer. Even though Muhammad Ali, in terms of his defensive, listen, rope-a-dope is something that will never stop being talked about. And yeah, people might not call that defensive. I do. I call that defensive because that was his plan. He wore him out. Mayweather's technical ability defensively is so consistent and so smooth that's why he hasn't lost the fight. But I think, yeah, Ali, best defensive, whatever. I see a lot of people saying facts. I assume that's to do with Mayweather and whatnot. Listen, big him up on all the money he's made. But yeah, like when someone asks you that sort of question and you respond with what have they done for me, it's a joke. I can't lie to you. Let me go check super chats. I'm sure I saved 3 super chats. Where are we? I see Ibby's one there. I already did that. Matthew, I see yours is saved there. Yeah, I've got the one saved. Mods, let me know if I've missed any. Matthew says, hi, mate. Villa fan from Melbourne, Australia. Long-time subscriber. Always love your opinions and realistic views, my guy. Appreciate that, Matthew. No end. Love for the super chat and the kind words. What's your opinion on Southgate and the current state of the England squad coming into the World Cup? I'm probably the wrong guy to ask on that. I don't support England, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. Southgate, he's done some good things. I think he's given young players a chance, and earlier on, I think there was something to get behind. But you look at him now, and I think he's now stuck in his ways, and some of the selections he's been making and some of the decisions he makes, like with Trippier left back and Maguire still starting when he doesn't even play a game for United, and every game he started, he's lost this season. Sometimes he can be too rigid, which for a manager that only a couple of years ago I was giving credit to for being quite, open and giving young players a chance and trying to play good football, to see him now, I think it indicates this is his last tournament, or if it's not successful, it's his last tournament. So on Southgate, I think he's all right. He's all right. After England, I don't know what's what for him after there, but yeah, you better hope Aston Villa don't go in for him after England, mate. But I don't think club football is for him. But yeah, that's my opinion on Southgate. The current state of the England squad, it's current state of the England squad. On paper, England's squad is more often than not in a good state majority of the time, not just this generation, the previous two as well, I'd say, dating from Euro 96, the Shearers and the Seamans and the Adams and so on, to the 2000s and whatnot, with the Beckhams and the Gerrards and the Lampards and the Rooneys and so on, to now where you have the Sterlings and the Kanes and whoever else. I think in a good state on paper, but England just never seemed to be able to transition to that good-looking squad on paper to good-looking team on the pitch. There's just always something just not right. Like even in the Euros, they had a good run, but any team they faced that had anything about them, beat them. I think it was Belgium twice and Croatia the next time in the World Cup. Pretty much the same thing, you know. As soon as they faced Italy, a game they England should have won. What's this fly doing jumping about here, man? Move from here. Causing shadows on my fucking stream. Where was I? Forgot where I was. World Cup. Yeah, the last World Cup, they should have beat Italy and it didn't get over the line. So all in all, I think I prefer my players not to get selected for England. I've always been like that because I just think any tournament England go into, they come out of with negative headlines. Even if they reach a fucking final last summer, look at the headlines off the back of it. It was all abuse, racism, blaming, and all of that. So for me, I'd prefer my players not to go. All in all, I don't think England have a chance in the World Cup. I think their chances have gone in the last two tournaments, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm a neutral for this one, Matthew. Big up you, though, my guy. Araf says Baku 2019, Paris 06, Copenhagen 2000. Which defense, bro? That's an easy question, bro. I more or less nearly cried after that Champions League final. More or less. I was so close. So close. I remember people, I was watching it with a whole heap of friends. We was out watching it. Obviously, I was young these times. What was I? I was 18. So I was with my brethren. I was actually with that United friend I mentioned earlier, the one I went to the wedding with this week on Tuesday. I was with him and a lot of other people for the Champions League final in 06. Oh, when that second goal went in, I remember going into, them photo booths. You got them photo booths where they take little passport photos in a strip of 4. I went into there and I just sat down on the seat. Like, I remember Jamal, my Man United friend, opening the curtain and laughing. And I remember one girl that used to come to our sixth form coming into the booth as well and just trying to, console me. And I'm just there like, I was just there thinking, it's never going to happen. And we haven't come close since. So by far, that's the worst one. The Baku one was a joke. Copenhagen, obviously that hurt as well, considering the circumstances. But the Champions League is just the Champions League. Best in the world. Did I miss the super chat? Did I miss a super chat? But Araf, thank you for the question. Are you talking about this one that I've missed? Oh, well, it's the same question, Araf. No worries, my guy. Listen, if you send in a super chat, don't worry. I'll put it to the side. You don't need to send it again. I'm trying to see if I've missed any super chats. Matthews is there. Sorry, people, because best in the world's a regular. So if he says I missed one, I must have missed one. We continue go out. Max, if you ever come to Australia, I've done that one there. Ryan, nah, I don't know what I've missed. Yeah, it's KLM. KLM? Where am I? I've only got one from Kieran saved. Where's KLM? Best in the world. If you can tell, actually, wait, I know where to go. Let me find it. My charger's not even on. No, I can't find it. What the fuck is going on around here? Best in the world. You might need to copy and paste that for me, my guy. Oh, I read it already. Oh, good. Here I am just moving mad. All right, people. An hour and 8 minutes in. This was meant to be an hour-long stream, but here we are. A few more super chats to go. We haven't even talked about Arteta, Xhaka, and all of this. What have we been talking about? We've been talking about UFC. We talked about Stormzy. We talked about Arsenal a little bit. This is how it goes with these solo vids. You just got to ride the wave and see where it goes. How's the little man doing? Says Omar, very good, man. You just been put to sleep, hence why I've set this up for 1. That's his nap time. But yeah, like I said, I had to change his nappy just before it. But yeah, it is what it is. Blessed. I'm telling you, if anyone's out there that, hasn't got a child yet, but wants kids, once you have that first child, beautiful. It puts life into perspective. It gives you an extra, not incentive in life, not that you should need it, but it gives you that extra, I don't know, spring in your step, So yeah, nice chat, Turkish music boxing. It happens. Let me get into these super chats. Let's see if any of them are football related. Kieran says, Turkish, much love. Thoughts on Tierney playing as an inverted fullback? I feel to get the best out of him, he should play as a traditional fullback. But clearly, Arteta likes the new system. Yeah. So, okay. So, thoughts on Tierney. From comments Tierney's made about, working on his game and looking at, I think he was talking about the current Celtic fullback and him being inverted and his current role at Arsenal. I think he's taking it on in his stride, which is, I love that. But I'm kind of with you. I like that he's different and I like that he can offer something different. But at the same time, last year, I did say, when Tierney and Tomiyasu were playing, Tomiyasu was the one that would slot into the free and Tierney would bomb forward. Now it seems like what Arteta wants is Ben White to slot into the free or Tomiyasu when he returns to slot into the free and Tierney or Zinchenko to not bomb forward but come inside. So that is a key change, not so much for Zinchenko, who's used to that, but for Tierney, 100%. He doesn't look as he doesn't look as comfortable. He doesn't look comfortable, full stop. Certain times he picks the ball up in the middle and, he just doesn't have that technical, ability that Zinchenko has. He both left-footed, but Zinchenko has more about him in terms of you can't read him as well as you can read Tierney, who on his weaker foot, he doesn't look as comfortable as Zinchenko does. So he's gonna have to learn it, and that's what Arteta wants. And Tierney's at Arsenal, and so far it seems like he loves being at Arsenal. If that's what the manager wants, that's what you're gonna have to do. That's what football is now. Teams, managers buy players and turn them into what they want more so than buying players and using them for what they are. That's where football's kind of gone now. So yeah, credit to Tierney for taking it on board, and I'm already hearing good things about him, trying to learn it and whatnot. But yeah, you ready for Turkey to win the World Cup? Go fuck yourself. Where are we? Nah. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Let me take this chat away for a sec. I understand Turkish. I have a very ill son, doing my best to save his. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. I don't know the circumstances, but that's not something I want to be reading, hearing, or listen. Just keep your head up, man. Keep your head up. Do your best. Like I said earlier, life is fucked. You've just got to take from it what you can to remain happy. And in moments that you can be in, like you're in at the moment, it's hard to see a light or see the value in life. But there is value, and you're a good person for trying, because it is the worst thing ever to see a child suffer, let alone your child. So keep your head up, my guy. Keep your head up. Let me bring that super chat back as well, because we are going to round off soon. Jay London says, big up you, my North London brother. Watching this from day dot, never change your Arsenal views. You're the right kind of fan, my guy. Peace, mind the gap. Jay London, love for the love, my guy. Appreciate that, man. I like that I got, London-based and North London-based people watching as well. So when I mention things, that are local, man like you know what I'm talking about. So big up you. Thank you for the super chat, my guy. And I'll never change. All I know is how to keep it real. So I can't change. I'm not an actor. I'm not a fucking whatever else. I haven't been drama school. I'm not a crisis actor. I just keep it real. Thoughts on Partey's injury? Like I said before, it doesn't look like the injury is of much concern, but we hope that he comes out the back end the next game and he's ready to play for us against Tottenham, because if he's not, I've already had enough of it already. If he's not, then seriously, we'll address it then. People, I'm thinking I should do, considering Big Six is Thursday, do you think I should come back and do another one of these before Big Six, or do you think that's too much? I don't know. I might do. Because I didn't get a chance to talk about Xhaka. I didn't get a chance to talk about Jesus. I didn't get Chick King. I rated Chick King a lot more back in the day. I can't lie to you. Chick King bangs. But one day I bought a burger and there was a bone in it. And when you buy a burger, you don't expect bones. And I just bit into that burger like nobody's business here. And my tooth nearly just went left. Like, when I just bit, because Chick King bangs. I was going 10, 15 years. Bangs, bangs, bangs. Got a burger. Bone. Nearly just ruined my whole mouth. I can't lie to you. I've been back since, and I get wings and that, but I can't forgive them for that, man. I can't lie. If anyone's ever bitten into a burger that's got a bone in it, you know what I'm talking about. Because I like, listen, some people like meat on the bone. Some people, I like meat off the bone. I like to just devour it. You know, I don't want to mess about with no bones. So if I've got a burger, I just got that burger and I'm just like, yo, straight. Nearly fucking lost a tooth, mate. I tell you that, nearly lost a tooth. So big up Chick King. I hope there's no more bones in their burgers, but yeah, that was a pretty traumatic experience. I'll tell you that. Can't forgive them. I can't. Trust me, my tooth hasn't felt the same since. I'm sure it moved some degrees to the left. I don't know if it's as straight as it was before that burger, but yeah, that burger was mad. I still finished it though. I took out the bone and I still finished it because it bangs. But yeah, my tooth wasn't happy about that. But yeah, people. Oh yeah, listen. Here we are. Where are we? South London's finest. Where's my phone, man? I can't even pin this comment. Where is my phone? I'm just out here just moving mad. All right, cool. I ain't got my phone, so I can't pin the comment. Please make sure you vote for the Big Six Premier League Football Content Awards. All right, cool. Obviously, last year, Big Six got silver in the Football Content Awards for podcast, yeah? This year, we want gold, yeah? Because what is silver? We want gold. We're nominated. I'm happy to say that X and Rants and Bants and his podcast didn't make it because that was the only podcast I looked at and said, I can't lie, that podcast is levels. If them man getting the nominations, it might be another silver for us. But they didn't make it in. Sorry, X. You're in the influencer and all of that anyway. You're out there enjoying in Greece. Listen, Barstool, you enjoy all that. Let me just get a football content gold. We're up against Arsenal Vision, who won it last year. Arsenal Vision won the gold last year. We got silver. We're up against Seagull Socials. I know they do a lot of good content. We're up against a few guys, but Big Six needs to win it. So there's a link there that South London's finest, big up Taylor, he put there. So you can go vote there. When you go vote on the website, you can vote in multiple categories at once. So, you know, you can vote for X in best influencer. You can vote for Curtis in best content creator. You can vote Big Six best podcast, AFT, whatever. You can do it all at once. On the Instagram, you have to go to the best podcast picture and tag us Big Six. On Twitter, it's something else as well. They want you to do, I vote for Big Six at the hashtag, whatever else. I don't really know Twitter, what's going on there, but it's too long for me to explain. Go on the website, vote, best podcast Premier League. Go on the Instagram, vote, best podcast Premier League. Just at us there. You guys know what you're doing anyway. I'll promote on the Big Six next time we're on. But yeah, where are we? And said your tooth has no backbone. Quincy said Turkish to his tooth. We moved. We had to move, bro. The first thing I checked was it's still there. And if it's still there, we got to move. If it wasn't there, there was no moving anywhere. We don't move. If my tooth was out, we don't move. I don't know what happens from there, but Chick King, yeah, they'd be sending me Turkey for some new teeth, my guy. All right, cool. Here we are. And by here we are, I mean we are at the end of the live stream solo vid, an hour 20 people. It was only meant to be an hour, but the conversation always flows. I will be back again. I might be back again before the Big Six show. But like I said at the beginning, more content to come, 100%. Big up the members that have been members for how long and there hasn't been no content. Love for that. Love for that. Sticking by and waiting. And there will be something for you guys, 100%. Big up Joz as well. Man was going to lock. Bro, fuck that. Remembering, I'm telling you, let me not even talk about my tooth anymore, man. Forget it, because I need to eat something now as well. My tooth's feeling funny. You know, when you talk about something that happened before, my tooth's starting to feel something like that. Nah, it's all good. But yeah, I'm out, people. Still 800 people here. How many likes have we got? 700 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, hit it on the way out. You know what to do, people. Hit the notification bell as well so you know when the next piece of content is coming. And yeah, love for the love as always, people. I am out. Peace.